Get the K right to the sight sex. Leave the fire and the roof styles. I'm on the grind like we're chasing the stars. From Millmore to Du Valley, we've come so far. Talk about legends, yeah, we know the score. Ronnie and Bobby, we remember you more. From the highs of the Wembley fight to losing our trousers, still we ignite. Red and white with the pride, we're never gonna bow. Fighting like middlemen, hear the roar now. We're middlemen, we stand up tall. Through ups and downs, we give it all. From Millmore to Du Valley.
Good evening and welcome to Terry's Talk. We are here for Miller's Monday. We've got a special show tonight because obviously we have had no game week. We did win 7-2 in the virtual trophy, so we'll have a little discussion around that. We have got a game coming up midweek as well, so again, a discussion around the game against Blackpool. I'm going to introduce you to our panel tonight. We've got Bez with us. How are you doing, Bez?
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Hope you're all doing good and looking forward to another podcast.
Super. And we've got the legend. That is Tom. How are you doing, Turbo Tom?
Hey up, Lee. Hey, Dave. Monday is upon us. No game at the weekend, but do you know what? Big game Wednesday. Can't wait to have a chat and dissect everything we need to do, mate.
Super.
It's another weekend without a defeat. Let's be positive.
Yeah,
true.
We've got a lot of comments, so I'm going to go through as many as I can. So let's go through. Rotherham Gaming, up the Millers, the go at 1 more year deal. Luke says it's going to be another great show. Happy Monday. Looking forward to tonight's show. Evening, boys, from Test Rigs. Evening, have a cracking show. Up the Millers. Evening, all Dave Carroll. Carpets, up the Millers. Carpets, Millwall or pussies. Carpet. So if people don't know what Millwall are pussies, that was from I believe it was Sunday night show, which got quite a lot of good laughs and good banter on that. So hopefully we can bring that in. So we're going to start, first of all, we're going to talk quickly about the 7-2 Salford victory. So I'll start with you, Bez. Thoughts on the game? Cracking sort of result through to the next round, who we have drawn Huddersfield away, I believe, as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, it was a great result in terms of the score line. It's not every day you score 7 goals, and I can't remember if they've ever scored 7 in my lifetime. Actually, Rotherham. I'm sure someone out there will be able to have a look for us and work it out. No complaints. I do feel that the performance was good, but I don't think it was amazing. I think it's one of them where we've had 7 shots and scored 7 goals. Now, if you look at the stats, I know we had this debate about stats almost every single week. It actually looks like the game was quite even. The stats, which it's ridiculous, really. You know, how can you win 7-2 and the stats make it look even? However, I don't remember their keeper making 1 save, and I can remember Can making quite a few saves. So the stats are probably right. But a weakened side and a lot of youngsters in that side. A 7-2 win is exceptional. And when you've got players like Josh Benson scoring a hat-trick and he can't even get in the Rotherham first 11, that just shows how strong our midfield and our squad are, to be honest with you. So, all in all, brilliant result. Hopefully we get to Wembley.
Super. I'll come on to you, Tom. Obviously, you did an after-match reaction for us, so thank you ever so much for that. It was a great after-match reaction. The comments that you said after that game is you was quite disappointed in the celebrations of the goal. I do recall you saying that you were disappointed that they didn't cheer the goals on us much as you think they should have, as when you're putting on a first team sheet. So what were your thoughts about the game? And obviously just go into a little bit of why you felt a little bit disappointed with the celebrations.
Well, I think the first half was absolute carnage. They go 1-0 up, we go 2-1 up. But it was like every time somebody scored, which was quite a lot, it was just like, high five, hey, well done, mate, you scored a goal. My point is, right, Rotherham United, we go back to the Auto Windscreen Shield back in the day, 1995, 6, right? That was our first trip to Wembley. I was there at the Papa John's. If you score a goal for this club, have it. Do you know what I mean? That was my... Maybe these lot, maybe our pros now don't think, well, have they been told it's like a friendly or... I don't know. So, look, 7-2. Benson showed his absolute quality. Their goalkeeper, I don't know who it was, but he ain't very good, I don't think. And to have some of the youngsters, three academy graduates scoring goals was fantastic. Dan Gordon
to get his first senior goal as well.
First goal as a pro. Great. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, because I'm not a professional footballer, if I scored for Rotherham United, I'd be like, shirt off, swinging it around my head. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, my thoughts on that is I'm with Bez, really. I think the reason they didn't celebrate so much is because I think they were a little bit embarrassed that we kind of got played off the park at times by Salford. The defence looked absolutely abysmal that first half, and he took both Holmes and Raggett off because they were that bad. And I think if he'd have kept them two on the way they were playing, we could have ended up losing the game. I think our conversion was sort of 10 on 10. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
10, it was like every shot were going in. So I think that were a little bit behind the muted celebrations in my view. But we won the game. There's some fantastic finishers. I mean, Ayres, I think he looks awful, but that goal he took was absolutely brilliant. But the guy looks like he's running in treacle, and he's only a young lad. He doesn't really seem to have much to his game, but he scores goals. So to me, he reminded me a bit of Leo Fortune West type player, where I used to hate watching him, but every week he used to pop up with a goal, and we ended up selling him for decent money to Cardiff. So we'll see how it goes. A few more comments. Bushy, we love you. Thank you. I love myself apparently as well. Any news on the Duncan Watmore deal? So obviously, I think Paul Douglas has done an article. Paul Davis has done an article today saying that Matt Hamshaw has been very tight-lipped about the situation. So the situation, I was told, is that there's no imminent deal. No shirt's been made up for him as yet. Tony Stewart is due to go on a cruise as well at the end of the week. So if it doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, then in this thing, I can't see it happening. But I was told that Watmore was keen on signing. I think he did want to sign for Sheffield Wednesday, but they took their allocation. I think he then get the green light for Rotherham. But I think because of Rotherham's overspend so far, Hamshaw had to go get special permission to get when we signed the Holmes defender. So Tony Stewart believes he's more than backed the manager by doing that. And I've been told we're going to have to either go for a lower value player for wages wise as a free agent, or Watmore has to reduce what he's wanting. Don't know. Or we have to wait till January so we can take some players out, maybe send some back on loan. So yeah, we'll have to see with that. Daniel Spalding, I used to love Watmore when he played for us many moons ago. He was very unlucky to be a youngster while we were on our decline. I think he'd be a great signing at that level. Yeah, I mean, I'd love Watmore. I think he fits perfectly in with the team. However, it depends on what wages he's wanting and what sort of level of fitness he's at. Because if he's not fully fit and it's going to take him till January to get sort of fit, then we may be best just waiting. Because last thing we want to do is sign someone on big wages and he gets an injury straight away because we're trying to rush him into the team. So it's a difficult one. I personally take him, but like I said, I'm not the one paying it and making the decisions. So, yeah. Any thoughts, you two guys, on that?
Just on not on the Watmore thing, I was going to come back to Tom's point about the celebrations. Yeah, just I know what you're saying, Tom. I completely agree with what you're saying in terms of, if you score, you'd be, grim ballistic, let's say. But I think it's all normal. I think if you watch any single game at this round in the EFL Trophy, I think no one celebrates. I don't think it's a Rotherham United thing. I think it's just a standard football player thing. Everyone wants to get to Wembley, and yeah, when you get to Wembley, it's brilliant. But the games before, there's a reason why Rotherham get 1,200 fans going. It's one thing celebrating in front of 10,000 fans, which Rotherham on average get in their attendances. But when you got 1,200 there, that clearly shows you that the fans aren't that bothered about the competition. So why should they be? So I kind of do get it. I probably agree more with Lee on that personally. And yeah, when you get to 6 and 7, then it does become a little bit embarrassing because you're absolutely smashing the team you're playing against. So again, I agree with Bushy on that as well. That's just my thoughts on it.
So, super. So, Bez in the Week came up with a really good plan for tonight's show. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to run through all our new signings in the pre-season, and we're going to have a little discussion, and we're going to rate them from sort of 1 to 10, as in good signing, poor signing, and we'll have a little bit of discussion around them. And then after that, we are then going to go to the out-of-contract players, and we're going to say, are we going to give them a deal? What deal? Or are we going to release them? So we'll start with the new signing ratings. I am going to put us all up here so I can get the images up. So we're going to start. The first player we're going to start with, new signing, was Kian Spence. Was that? Oh, that's it. That's better. Yeah, so Kian Spence, obviously he was signed from Barrow. At the time, I was a bit, why are we signing players from Barrow? But you tell me, is he a hit? And what would you rate him out of a signing of 1 to 10? So I'll start with Bez, because you're directly below me. So what's your rating on him? And then I'll give mine at the end as well, because I've done mine for Kian Spence.
So I think based on what you said, Lee, I think what this sign does tell you is never ever judge a book by its cover. You admitted, didn't you, that it's come from a League Two side, and not even a good League Two side. No disrespect to Barrow, they're generally one of the poor. In fact, they're not even a league side really; they're more a conference side. I think he did start slowly, and he has. Again, we're going to say this one line for pretty much most of these signs. I get that, but he started slowly, and he has had a few injuries, which means he's not been available to play all the time. But when he has played, he's been magnificent. He's for me, he's your all-round box-to-box midfielder who will score goals. And if he were to play, I don't know, 95% or 90% of league games this season, I guarantee he'll get at least 10 goals. And 10 goals from midfield is an excellent achievement. And it's very rare Rotherham have that. Obviously, Frecklinton was one of them. And another one that I used to like, actually, and I felt he was undervalued as Rotherham player, that was Mark Hudson. I used to like Mark Hudson as well, and he would get you 10 goals a season. So, yeah, a very good signing. It's almost a low-risk signing because it was a free transfer, I believe. We've not paid any money for him. A low-risk signing. He's definitely a League One quality player. The question is, would he be good enough for the Championship when we get there, whether that be this year or next year? Because we will be back in Championship at some point, and that I'm unsure with. And because of that, and because of his injury proneness a little bit, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. That's what I'm giving him.
An 8 out of 10. Tom,
Yeah.
what's your score for Kian Spence? We got Rotherham Gaming. He's given a 9 for Kian Spence. So very high score from Rotherham Gaming.
Rotherham Gaming, just elaborate on that, Lee. Why do you think he deserves a 9? I'd be interested to know your thoughts.
Tom? 9, 8.
Kian Spence, I think, look, it was at Barrow. I lived in Barrow for 2 years. Horrendous place. It's an awful place.
We've got no Barrow fans on here. God.
Never go to Barrow. It is an absolute shithole. Trust me. So no wonder Kian wanted to come to us. For me, I mean, he scored that goal against Barnsley, didn't he? I think he's been fantastic. We go on about Dango. I think he's up there at Dango levels. So I'm going to give Spence a 9 out of 10. Definitely.
So I'm going to come on to mine. So I've also scored him a 9 out of 10. And I'm going to tell you why. So for me, I was shocked at the signing. I wasn't overly impressed with the signing, but I'd never heard of him, never seen him play before. And I saw him a game in pre-season and I thought, wow, who is this player? Unbelievable. The best compliment I can give him is he doesn't look out of place at side of Dango. And now, for me, his levels is very similar to what Tom said. I think his levels are very similar to Dango this season. And if he'd have played every game and not got that injury, I think he'd be challenged. I think we'd be speaking him same as sort of Dango. I think this guy is only at a young age, has got the potential to be a club legend like Lee Frecklington was, because he's got that eye for goal. Dango has, and that's what he's got extra to Dango. So Dango hasn't really got that eye for goal that Kian Spence has got. He seems to get in the right place at the right time. And for me, it's a definitely 9 out of 10. I think it's a cracking piece.
Where do you think his best position is then?
I think the same sort of.
I know it's centre mid, but is it like centre mid or is it more an attacking mid? But where do you see him?
I prefer to see him in more of an advanced role, a bit like what Frecklington used to play. That's where I'd like to see him.
Fair enough.
Because I think he is the closest thing we've had to Lee Frecklington.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, even when he runs and stuff and the way he moves, he's like Frecklington. It's quite amazing, actually, how close he is to him.
So, Jordan Hugel on X trying to get on, lads. Been on this afternoon.
Welcome, Jordan. If it is really you.
Yeah, there you go. It can come on anytime. Generally enjoyed the debates and discussions had every week. Listening to the panel, it's great. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Bob. Dude.
Thanks.
So, yeah. So we've started with Kian Spence. So the next player I'm going to go on is Benson. So obviously another player. I don't think anybody can doubt his ability, but another player that's had a couple of injury scares since signing. So I'm going to start with you, Bez. So what's your rating for Josh Benson?
So another midfielder. Is he technically better than Spence? Probably just about, yes. I think both lads have got a goal in them. Obviously, Spence is more mobile. He can get up and down the pitch more. Whereas Benson, obviously, is more technically gifted. Now, it's quite hard to kind of put a number on him, really, because, his injury proneness has not helped, and he's been more injured than Kian Spence. if we could choose between one of the two players, though, to sign for a 4-year or 5-year deal, I probably would. I probably would go with Spence as opposed to Benson, mainly because of his injury proneness. He came as more of a bigger name, though. Obviously, he went to Barnsley for £1 million. Never really took off there. It was a free transfer, but I think this will be on more wages than Spence. I'm going to give him. I'm going to agree with Rotherham Gaming, and I'm going to give him a 7. It could have been an 8 if he played more, but yeah, that drops him down to a 7 for me.
So Rotherham Gaming's give him a 7. So yeah. Tom, what's your rating for Benson?
I think with Benson, like Bez says, he's got the ability. If he could stay fit, what a player he would be for us. He scored a hat-trick for us in the Virtue. Happy days. He scored that winning free kick against, was it Northampton? Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was. I'm going to give the lad, just because of his injury record, a 6. A 6.
Ooh.
As we stand now.
Harsh, yeah.
But
a run of games, because he can't actually get into our midfield, can he? Let's face it.
Well, one thing I will say...
He has been.
You reminded me there, actually, Tom, to be fair. One thing I will say with Benson is I actually don't think he's been played in his natural position, because most of the time he's played like on a left winger as part of the front three. So I think that's harsh on him, really. If you put him in midfield, maybe he's as good as Benson. His output's better. We don't know, do we?
He is, but I mean, he has to do that. Yes, he scored a hat-trick against Salford, and he scored that winning free kick that time. I'm not doubting his quality, but you know what? I'll up it 6.5. Ask me in a month, it'll be a 7, maybe. We'll see.
Nicola Peters has gone with a 9. David Carroll says if he can keep fit, it would be a good signing. So you've gone 6.5, Tom.
Yes, Lee. Aye. That's where I'd go with him at the minute. But
so I've gone slightly higher than all you guys. So I've given him an 8, and I'm going to explain why. Now I do get his injury history. I agree with that. But this lad, his ability on the ball is the best I have seen since Dan Barlasser. It's the first time, anytime he gets a free kick, I think he's going to score. I can't remember us having a player that I think every time we get a free kick, actually, this kid's going to score. He was head and shoulders playing in his correct position against Salford. Head and shoulders above anybody on the pitch. His technical ability is Premier League standard for me. The ability that he's got with that, with the foot and his vision. I think if he stays fit, he's better than Spence. And very close to Dango. And that's how good that midfield is. But the thing is, it's hard to judge him when he's playing out of position. And it's hard to judge him when he does seem to get a full game. He seems to go off injured quite a lot. Yeah. I think the issue with him, and I think the Barnsley fans said the exact same. There is no question of this guy's talent. If you played football at any level, you've watched football over the years, watching Benson is enjoyable, and you know that he's got extreme quality. Is his body going to withstand? And that's where I agree with Bez. If it comes to a Kean Spence or a Benson for a long-term contract, I think I'm siding with Spence just purely on injuries, because I think he's going to be on. I mean, he come from Aston Villa, he went for £1 million. So he's probably, I would say, probably our highest paid midfielder at the club at the minute. If I was to guess the wage structure, I would say he was on the most money. And the good thing with him is as well, I think someone's just mentioned this in the chat as well, he can use both feet. So he can go out on the left, go out on the right. He's 2-footed. His delivery is unbelievable. His brain is quicker than anybody at the club. And he has got the potential to be a Dan Barlasser type player for us. So for me, that's why he gets an 8. So on to the next player then. This is going to be a bit more difficult because we haven't seen much of him. And what I have seen of him, I haven't been overly impressed. But Bez, I'll start with you. Ted Can.
Yeah, difficult really to judge. And unfortunately, every time he does play, he does seem to make a mistake. Now, it doesn't always result in a goal. He has sometimes got away with it. But yeah, for me, there's a reason why a lot of people were saying, weren't they, why aren't we giving Ted Can a chance when Dawson were really struggling at the start of the season? And we all assumed that it's because the manager didn't rate him. Even though the manager brought him in, that's what we assumed. So based on that and based on what I've seen, to flip it a little bit, he's a free transfer and he only came in as a backup, so it can't be that low a score. But again, I'm going to agree with Rotherham Gaming and I'm going to go 5.
So Rotherham Gaming says a 5. Just for any Premiership fans watching, I know there's a few in there, Manchester United are winning 1-0. Bruno Fernandes has just scored for Manchester United. So that's why you saw me give a little cheer there. Tom, are you going to give him any higher than a 5?
Ted can't. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, and you know what? I was one of the people saying that give Can a chance, but you know what? He's all right. He's a backup goalkeeper, isn't he? I mean, remember the days when we had Victor Johansson and Josh Vickers as our 2 goalkeepers? Jesus Christ, we were in Wonderland, weren't we? I think Ted will go on to, do stuff maybe somewhere, but no. I'll give him a 5 as well. A 5.
So you guys are quite generous. So I'm going to go with a 3. I think he's awful. I really think he's poor. I think it's not even a genuine competition. I mean, we haven't got a great keeper as it is. So to have a keeper that's really, really worse than him, and I don't even think he's challenging him for a spot. I think he was just signed purely for his cheap on wages. I think this kid I don't think he'll ever play regularly above League 2 level. I think he'll maybe even slip into the conference. I don't think his kicking's any good. I just haven't seen anything from him. And it's difficult because he hasn't played many games. But what I have seen, I haven't been overly impressed with. So for me, it has to be a 3. I feel harsh saying that because he hasn't played much.
Yeah, I think just on that, I think, look, there's no denying what you're saying is correct. It's the reason why I'm surprised you giving him a 3 is because he was a free transfer, and like you just said, he'll be on the lowest wages at the entire club if you ignore, obviously, some of the youngsters.
For me, I'm wanting my number 2 to challenge my first team goalkeeper, and I just don't think he's going to do that. Is
that right then? So you would rather use up more of your wage, which has a detrimental effect on other positions in the team, just for a backup goalkeeper? Is that what you'd rather do?
Not always, but you said that. But what if his goalkeeper gets injured? Then we've got to play him.
No, exactly. I'm not like saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm just asking you the question.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
When we had, like Tom said, a Victor Johansson, and then you weren't worried if you were out. Because that season he got injured quite a bit, Victor, and I remember Vickers coming in, and Victor Johansson was struggling to get back in because he played so well. And you don't. For me, when you have a backup player in any team, it's a squad game. This now. It's not like it used to be. If you've got a backup player, be it be a striker, be it be a goalkeeper, if the drop-off is so bad that it will be detrimental to the result of your game, you've got a problem. And I think if Dawson gets injured and we put him in goal, he can cost us serious points. So that, for me, I'd have to address that. And if we got promoted, it'd definitely have to be addressed. You couldn't put this guy in on a championship game, could you?
That's fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
So 3 for him. On to the next one, and it's our World Cup man, Marthia. So obviously, I think he's going to get a bit higher scores. So what are we saying for Marthia? Is just qualified for the World Cup. Paul Davies is trying to sell him at every turn possible. And yeah, I think the club are trying to sell him as well by the sounds of it. But anyway, he's too good to play for Rotherham, according to some people, which I again think is total nonsense. I think when people say that, it is just mental. So some high scoring scores coming in from the fans. So Rotherham Gaming has gone with an 8. David Carroll has gone in with a 9. What about you, Bez? Where are you sitting on Martha?
Yeah, so the jury's still out for me on Martha, and I think I actually said it on a recent podcast or one of the recent podcasts. Now, he definitely has got a lot of skill, 100%. The problem is that it's very rare for this type of player to be successful at Rotherham United. Now, someone out there can come to you and say, well, what about Chio Ogbenny? Ogbenny weren't really skillful. Ogbenny were that quick and that strong that he were more a direct winger who would run down the line, beat his man with raw pace rather than skill. Okay, this lad is more about skill, and like I said, it's very rare that we see a skillful player at Rotherham and it work out. In fact, I can't even think of an example. I'm sure there is one, but I just can't think of one. Now, I would argue that he has been playing out of position a lot. He's also moved positions quite a lot, which I don't think helps. 1 minute he's playing as a number 10, 1 minute he's playing as a right winger, a left winger. Next minute he's playing as a left wing back. He's played in a lot of different positions. So I don't think, switching him around in all these positions helps him. He can't get momentum. And I actually think it's hindered him. I don't want to have a go at Anshaw, but this is a sort of player who I think he's almost got slightly worse when we first signed him. And it is because he keeps getting moved around. We also paid a fee for him. Was it, 300 or 400 grand, whatever it were? There's definitely something there, but I've not really seen it enough. I'm going to go for a 6 on this one.
6.
Yeah.
Tom. Nicola Peters has also gone with a 9. So quite a few 9s coming in and 8s.
I'll tell you what, to Arjani, he's been all right. He's been okay, right? And there's definitely a player there, right? And I agree with Pez. He's not been played in his whatever his position is. I think we all get hyped up because he got called up for Curaçao, and they've qualified for the World Cup. Great for them. Great for him. I
don't think he played bad. Sorry, Tom. I don't think he actually played a minute in the qualifying games either.
He did. He scored a free kick, Bez, for them.
Did he?
He did. He did.
Yeah, he scored a free
kick. Okay, fair enough.
It
was in a qualifying game.
I think they won 8-1 or whatever. But I mean,
right? Okay.
Curaçao have got massive Dutch connections. A lot of Dutch settlers. It's a Dutch colony basically, and he's been called up. And don't be wrong, I think he's been great. That assist for Spence against Wickham was fantastic. He thought about it. Happy days. Potentially could have won us the game against Wickham as well. I think there's a player there, and I certainly think he'll go on to have a fantastic career. However, at Rotherham United, I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a 7. A 7.
So I've also gone. I'm very close to giving him a 6, but I'm going to go 7, purely because he's being played out of position. But for me, he's got a lot to learn. He's got to become physically stronger. For me, he's got to start and release the ball quicker. He takes too many touches. A lot of the times his crosses are very wayward, or you're not convinced that he's going to put a decent ball in when he gets to the byline. Too many times he's took the wrong option for me, and he will learn. No question he's got ability, no question he's skillful. Would he be better in a better team in the Championship? Probably. But would he still be strong enough for the Championship, and would he be good enough? I don't know. I think we're just meant to believe that he is a really good player because he's playing for his country, but he's not regularly getting games for them either. And for me, he hasn't done. I can't remember a game. I mean, I used to remember Ogbene changing games often, really going at teams. I can't remember a game that stands out to me where I thought Marthy has absolutely tore him to bits. Maybe the first half against Barnsley, I think he did quite well and they couldn't live with him. But other than that, I don't think he's done enough often enough. He drifts in and out of games. Sometimes you don't know he's on. He gets taken off quite a lot as well. So I don't know whether he's struggling to adapt to the English game and the demands of it. But for me, yeah, I'll stick with a 7. I think a 7 is fair. I don't think 7's bad either. So the next one, another one, been very highly hyped at the club. Paul Davis trying to sell this guy as well, I think. Denzel Hall. So what we think of Denzel Hall? Bez, I'll start with you, mate.
Paul Davis needs to come into Rotherham, doesn't he? And I don't know, be some sort of advisor, because I'm sure he can get millions of pounds for these players. Denzel Hall.
Paul Davis just needs to retire, mate. That's
there's that as well. Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Rotherham Gaming's giving him a 10. We've got David Carroll giving him a 9.
I think a lot of fans would agree that this player is probably been our best signing this summer. His output. I don't know whether you can class Dango as a new signing for starters because I had him last year. But if you can, on a par with Dango, then I'd say. His output's really good. I think he's the joint top goal scorer. I think he's got 3 or maybe 4 goals. He's someone again who's got a good strike on him, and he does seem to pick up balls quite a lot, a bit like Spence. Like his positioning's really good. He's obviously got good speed. He's quite physical as well. You've got to give a high rating. Again, it did cost a couple of 100 to 300 grand, whatever it were. So there is a risk there. I'm going to give him. I'm not going to give him a 10. I'm going to give him a 9. The only thing with him, and I only noticed this on Saturday actually, or obviously the Saturday before, every time he gets the ball, he's always trying to get rid of it. Now, honestly, both of you, when you watch the game on Wednesday, just watch him, right? As soon as he gets the ball, he's trying to get rid of it. He's trying to play a pass to someone else. I don't think he's very confident, which is funny and ironic because, he's been one of our better players. But just watch him, honestly. Just watch him on Wednesday.
I have noticed that. I don't think he does it when he's in the final third. I think it's when it's in his own zone.
Agree with that.
In the defensive zone, I don't think he's as comfortable as a defender. I don't think he likes the ball to his feet at the back. I think he just wants to move it. When he moves and got, what he likes to do And that is very a Dutch way of playing. So a lot of Dutch teams, the pass, move. Because he's quick, he wants to pass it and then receive it back, get straight down that.
I agree, yeah.
But some of our players aren't switched onto it, so he doesn't always get it back. But when he does, then he's away. So I think that's more of a cultural thing from playing Dutch football, if I'm honest. But I have noticed that as well, Bez, to be fair.
The other thing as well, one thing he's excellent at, and again, it's very rare that Rotherham have this sort of player, he's very good at, like, when a ball's into his feet, he can flick it to like another player. So you get a bit like you said with Benson, he's got a bit of a football brain, this lad, and I think he's quite quick thinking as well.
Yeah, so all Dutch players are like that, you know. Technically, they switched on up here, little touches, and away they go, because it's coached into them from a young age. So I agree with that. Tom, are you going with a high?
I'll give Denzel. I think Hall has been really good for us. I think he's probably better than this league.
Don't turn into Paul Davis trying to sell him.
No, God, absolutely not. Because we're going to win. We're going to get promoted. For me, he's a 8 out of 10 player. Personally, there's a couple of things he needs to work on, but I think credit to Rob Scott for finding this chap, and 8 out of 10 for me. 8 out of 10.
So I'm going to go with a 9, and I will teeter into give him slightly more than a 9, maybe even a 10, but I'm going to give him a 9. And why I'm going to give him a 9 is I think he's absolutely quality, and I think he will be a better player in the Championship because he's suited more to Championship football. So I think as you go up the level, he will stand out more. I think at this level, the physical tough and rumble of it is not as keen. Like you say, doesn't like to receive the ball too much at the back area, but he likes to pass and move. I think in the Championship, he will be a quality player. But for me, I give him a 9. Ami signed off all on the whole signing, 9 out of 10.
He didn't.
Rob Scott signed him. He's been scouting him for nearly 3 years. So so Denzel Hall a 9. I think for me. He's a good player, and he's getting a lot of high scores from the fans as well. So which is good. So the next player we have got is Coletta. Marvin Coletta. This one I found one of the hardest ones to judge his score on, but I'll start with you, Bez.
Yes, it is difficult. Well, we'll start obviously. We all know he's injury prone. He's not hardly played a game, and the fact he's injury prone at 19 or 20 years old, he's not very good at all. That's not a good start to his footballing career. That's a massive worry. If you're injury prone at that age, then you're probably going to be injury prone for the rest of your career, unfortunately. So that's a bad start. We have paid a fee for him again, so there's a risk there. It might not have been a lot, but there's still a fee involved. However, when he has played, I've actually been impressed with him. We've had some fans kind of compare Denzel Hall to Tio Ogbene, and I've also heard fans compare this lad to Ogbene as well. I think although neither of them are like Ogbene, in my opinion, this one, Coletta, is more like him than Denzel Hall is. I do see a player in there. He's only young, and if he can somehow get over this injury proneness that he's got, then I've no doubt we have got a good player there. But he's already played a game. He can't even make the bench. He's going to have to give a load scoring. I'm going to go with a 5 out of 10.
Rotherham Gaming's gone with a 5. So Bez and Rotherham Gaming, they must be shacked up together somewhere.
Oh yeah, I've had all same as
scores every time, these two. Tom, what's yours for Coletta?
Well, we've got him on loan from Wolves, haven't we? I think.
No, it's a permanent signing.
Is it a permanent? All right.
Yeah.
When he's played, he's been useful, but he's been injured and he's not been in the squad. I don't doubt the kid. So look, when he's played, he's been good. So evens 5 from me. So yeah.
Yeah, so I've gone slightly higher. I've gone with a 6. When I've seen him, the guy's rapid, and I think he's got all the hallmarks to be a good player. I think 5 is a little bit harsh because I think he is going to turn out to be a really good player. But I do get why you've given him a 5. The injuries have really hampered him. But when he has played, would you say he's been above a 5 out of 10 when he's played? I would say he has. So that's why I've gone with a 6. It's subjective, but yeah. I think it's a close one.
I would agree that he has looked good in some games, but I wouldn't say he's been good in every game that he's played in. Just some games.
Yeah. So the next one is another difficult one to pick because again, we keep saying this a lot. Injury record. It was quality right at the start of the season. Had a really bad howler, but then got injured. My man is Lenny Agbert. So what we're saying, guys, for Lenny?
I actually really liked Agbert when he played, and it's not. I don't like him for his defensive capabilities. I actually liked him because his composure on the ball, like in defence. Again, Rotherham very rarely see that. You could almost name the number of players on one hand in my lifetime where I've had players who are composed on the ball. You know, Martin McIntosh, Carrie Arneson. I'd arguably say Cameron Humphreys as well, although Humphreys defensively weren't very good. And I think this is another lad. The problem is he is injury prone again, and he has made the odd mistake. Like unlike Coletta, where you could argue Coletta's looked good when he's played. Agbert has looked good, but he has made the odd mistake as well, unfortunately. And again, I think this was another transfer fee paid, if I'm correct. So we've actually brought. Yeah, we must have spent over £1 million on these players. So again, when you pay money for a player, especially Rotherham, it comes with high risk. I'm going to give him a 6. He's not much higher than Coletta, but he has played more than Coletta, I think. So I'm giving him a 6. I didn't see that from Rotherham Gaming.
Rotherham Gaming, surprise, has given him a 6 as well.
I need to give my score before he said anything.
Yeah, I've just seen it. I'm watching it here. Wolves have just equalised for anybody wanting to know. Man United are shit. Okay. Tom, Lenny Agbert. You agree with Bears a 6, or you're going to go higher?
No, I'll tell you something about Lenny. Right, I think he will go to the top. I think he'll be a Premier League defender.
Oh,
trust me, I've heard things off the Celtic boys, right, that tell me that this boy, if he can keep fit, will go all the way. So, Rotherham form, I'm going to give him a 6. But trust me, this boy will make us some coin and he'll go much higher.
Glorious says Rotherham and the Prem, laughing out loud, no chance. I don't think he means he's coming to the Prem with Rotherham. I think he means he's good at the Prem.
He's a simple lad into that GH.
Oh dear. Yeah, so I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go a 6 as well. So again, I agree with Tom. I think he's got the potential to be something special, but obviously, he needs to put these injuries behind him. Jay, it's no, I mean a player currently at Prem will play in the Prem.
He's digging himself another hole here, yeah. Just
Rotherham, he can't spell either. Rotherham.
He's having a nightmare, bless him. Yeah,
he's having a nightmare. He's still upset about Mo Salah, mate. Him. Still upset about Mo Salah. Right, on to the next player then. This is another difficult one because this guy also has had injuries. Tom Holmes. Talk to me, Bez.
Yeah, so he's almost similar to Agbe, but then again, complete opposite because both centre halves. Holmes obviously should be in the peak of his career at the age he's at, but he's obviously not. Obviously, he's very injury prone again. He looks like he's now back and fit though, so hopefully he can get some run of games going with a bit of luck. I really like Tom Holmes, as I've said before.
Before you give a rating,
yeah,
I'm going to give you a rating for you.
6. Very good. I've actually not given him a 6. You're all right.
I am. No. I'm giving him a 6. I'm with Rotherham on that one.
Yeah. So what I like about Holmes is obviously he's really good defensively, as we always said. I felt he struggled against Wickham still. I don't agree with yourself and Adam when you were saying he had a good game. I felt defensively he really struggled. But his distribution was excellent. And for me, his best feature is his distribution and the fact he's a lead on the pitch as well. You can hear him talking constantly. And because of that, right, he gets one more than Agbe gets a 7 because I just think that when he's missed, he's an important miss. Whereas Agbe, when he's missed, someone else just comes in and fulfills his position. You know, like a Baptiste or like a Duncan.
I don't know if you can say that. How can you say that? Before he got injured, he'd only played one game. How can you say it's a miss? Holmes.
Yeah, I think he's
played one game and got injured.
If we'd have had Holmes for all that time, I think we'd have picked up a lot more points. If he'd have had Agbe for all that time, I don't think it'd have made a difference. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think that's.
Do you agree?
No, not really. Because how can you say it? I hadn't seen enough of him. He'd played that one game. He was outstanding. Yeah. He's come back against Wickham. I said he played well. You said he didn't play well. And then against Salford, it looked like he was running in treacle. He was horrendous. Yeah. So, to me, he made more mistakes in that Salford game than Agbe's made all season.
No, Agbe's cost us goals. Tom Holmes has cost us goals. No, he didn't cost us a goal. It was more Raggett who cost us a goal, not Holmes. He didn't defend very well, but I don't think he directly cost us a goal. Agbe's cost us like 2 or 3, like the Bradford game.
That winger for Salford, we're turning this clown inside out. His legs were running in treacle, man.
Agbe would have made a difference.
You're giving him a 7, yeah?
I am, yeah.
So you're rating him the same as Martha?
Yeah.
No, I can't go there. Tom, go on.
As I said, after the first game that Mr. Holmes played, where Bez gave him a 10 out of 10.
I don't think I did. Yeah. I never give 10s out of 10s me.
No, it won't be better. He'll probably had them.
Yeah. I'm going to say
Bez never gets 10 out of 10. I don't think Bez has ever. I've never got a 10 out of Bez. I don't
think so, no.
Look, the lad's lacking fitness, game time. He's played one good game for us. I'm giving him a 5. A 5.
Fair enough. So a 5 for him there. So all very similar scores. So the next one is another one that's been injured a lot. Ian Atete.
I'm not a big fan of Atete. He gets a really low score for me. I mean, if you remember his first game, it was really embarrassing the way he played in that first game. And I think he's had one good half or maybe two good individual halves, and that's it. And now he's half at season anyway. So he gets the only good thing is we'll not be paying a lot of his wages, and we're alone. So he don't get a 0 like Rotherham Gaming said. I'll give him a 3 out of 10 for me.
0 from Rotherham Gaming. What did you say? 3?
3 out of 10, yeah. I honestly think it's been a disaster signing that one.
I thought he had a good first game, but after that...
For what?
I thought he had a good first game. He held the ball up and flicked it on and that sort of shit. But I mean, yeah.
I think that was his second game, to be fair. His first game, he came on at half time against someone and he just, he could hardly run. And then he did have a game, either second or third game, he was good.
He was shocking the first game. The second game, he played quite a bit better. Didn't he get injured then again?
I think he did, yeah.
Well, do you know what? I'll give him a 3, 2, 1, whatever. It's irrelevant, isn't it? Because he's not going to play for us again, and he's done out for us. So,
yeah, I'm going to go with a 1. I think he's awful. I disagree with Bez on this as well. I think he's on big money. And I think we're contributing quite a bit of money from him as well. He's on good money is it Cardiff?
Yeah, he'll be on 15 grand at Cardiff, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing we'll be paying about 30%, so 6K, which, I suppose that is big money for Rotherham, to be fair.
Big money. I believe a lot of the... he was the direct replacement for... Johnson
Nombe, weren't it? We got Nombe because
we got rid of him. But yeah, I give him a 1. I think he's pony. I don't think he's done very well, and he's injured.
Adam liked him, didn't he? Remember Adam? Adam, we're trying to say if we get a Tete and over Hugo, we'll get promoted.
So the next one is Starboy himself, Dan Gore. Talk to me, Bez.
Go on, Tom. I'll let Tom go first on this one.
Tom.
Dan gets a 9 out of 10 from me because I think he's absolutely fantastic midfielder. He is more switched on than anybody else in that on the pitch, as it were. I watched an interview with him today. He's level-headed. He's got a vision. The other reason I don't give him a 10 out of 10 is because of his goals. 9 out of 10 for Dangor because his vision, his football brain is way ahead of everybody else on that pitch, anybody else in League One, and we'll be very, very lucky to have him, as I've said for months, come January. 9 out of 10 for me.
Bez.
I actually completely agree with Tom, interestingly enough. So I was going to give him a 9 out of 10. And the reason why I don't get a 10 is because, he doesn't, he's brilliant in terms of keeping the ball, winning the ball, and passing out. And he can accept the ball under pressure and all this. But he doesn't really contribute enough in terms of scoring goals himself and also getting assists. And that's why he'd only get a 9. For me, he's that good, Dan Gore, and we all know that I would expect him to do that. I know he's playing as a deep line playmaker, I get that, but Dan Ball also played that and got quite a lot of assists. So that's why he only gets a 9 for me. So I kind of agree with Tom on that one.
Can I give him a 20 out of 10?
You only do that because he's a Man U and Rotherham player. It's the only reason why.
No, right. So I'm gonna give you a good detail here. So I don't know how anybody can not give him a 10. He is unbelievable, right? And if I told you he's playing out of position at this point as well, He's unbelievable.
Why is he out of position?
At United, he was playing as behind the strikers as 10. His dad's saying he needs to add goals to his game, and he does. Let's bear no bones about it. But what he does, nobody can do at this level. He is head and shoulders above anything in League One. There's not even a player close to being as good as Dango in League One. He's got the energy. He's got the footballing brain. He seems to have got so much time on the ball when he gets the ball. He very rarely makes a wrong decision. He receives the ball under pressure. He always wants the ball. He gets stuck in. You think he's at Man United Academy, always going to be a bit of a. He's only a small lad. Man, he smashes into players. It means something to win. He's a winner, and for me, I'm with Scott Kent. So Scott Kent's put a 20, and I'm going to say a 20 as well because the guy is just unbelievable. 10 out of 10. If we manage to pull this signing off, I would say this would be the best signing ever in Rotherham United's history, and he will make us the most money we have ever made on a football player. If the chairman's listening, I was told a story of Luke, who works at Manchester United Academy, yeah. And he said to me at the beginning of the season that they was willing to sell him because he's coming into his final year of his contract at Old Trafford, and he's had a lot of injury problems. They were struggling to get a loan for him. He went to Port Vale, he got injured. He come to us that season and he got injured. But Rotherham was so keen to have him back that Manchester United offered him to Rotherham as a full transfer for £500,000. Rotherham said no, they wanted him on loan. Now the reports that I'm getting back from the academy is that they've scouted him. They've had championship clubs now looking at him, and they're going to offer him a new contract and then sell him. And it'll be in the millions now. You're going to have to pay for him. So if Rotherham had took that risk in the summer for 500k, I tell you now, if we get promoted to the championship, and we had Dango and he got us promoted, the following season we would get in the region between £5 to £10 million bids for that player. I guarantee you, he's that good. He's a top end. He'll play in the Premier League. He will play in the Premier League. Maybe not for a Manchester United, maybe not for an Arsenal, but he will play for a Wolves or somebody like that. Nottingham Forest, even somebody at that ilk. He will play in the Premiership. I'm convinced of it. I've seen so many players, and I've not seen a player as good as this. I've not seen a player as good as this for Rotherham. I don't think ever. I don't think I've seen a better Rotherham player than this kid right now. For me, that's my take on it. So we'll move on. Go on, sorry.
I was going to ask you. So, what with the position? Because when he played against Peterborough last season, he was brilliant, and he was playing as that number 10. But this season, he started an attacking midfielder and really struggled, and he only really started playing well when he got moved to a defensive midfielder. So why do you think that then?
I just think he's got everything for that position. And I think if you watched him, I've watched a lot of his games at academy level, and he just takes the piss in that position at junior football. I think obviously men's football is different. Maybe for me, because I think he's another player that if we got promoted, he would take the step up easier and he would look better in the Championship than he does in League One. I think he'll be even better in the Championship with more time, quality on the pitch, quality around him. I think he's that good. So we'll move on to the next player, and this one is on loan from Sheffield United, Baptiste. So what are we saying for Baptiste? What do we rate him at?
I'll be quick because obviously we're out of time a little bit. So when he's played, I think he's looked good. Again, injury prone, which is not great. I was going to give him a 6 until Rotherham Gaming said 6. I'm changing to a 5.
A 5?
Yeah, I go 5. Yeah. I don't
Tom,
think he started very well, Baptiste.
Tom.
I really like him actually. I'm going to give him a 6. I've got faith in that lad. So yeah, I will give him a 6. I'd like him to be fit and playing. So yeah, 6 for Jamal.
Scott Kent says a 6. Rotherham Gaming says a 6. I'm also going to say a 6. I think he's really good. Scott Kent, the only player goal really reminds me of is Cole Robinson, where we had him under Ronnie. Yeah, interesting. He reminds me more of Jody Morris, but we had Jody Morris. You can see he's just pure quality player. So the next player up, what we're going to go on to is Martin Sharif. So what are we marking him out of 10?
Yeah, not too dissimilar to Tete. He's obviously played more games. He's obviously scored a couple of goals, but I've been disappointed with him, to be honest with you. And again, the fact that he's injury prone at this age is not great. I'm going to go for a 5, I think. 5.
Rotherham Gaming surprised has gone with a 5. Scott Kent's gone with a 6. Tom, what are you going for?
Well, he's scored a couple of goals, and he's a hard one with him. I don't know what Everton's things are with Rotherham, whether how many minutes he can play, blah blah blah. But look, he's scored a couple of goals. I'm going to give him a 6.
I'm going to go with a 5. I think the injury woes. I think his overall game isn't great, but he has got an eye for a goal, so he's scored a couple of goals. So I'll give him a 5. And then finally, of the players for the new signings, we go with Drew Yearwood. This was another difficult one for me. So I like Drew Yearwood.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry, I do. I really like him, but obviously he's already played, so you can't give him a too high score. But when he has played, I think he's done well. And yeah, I think there's a player in there. I'm going to go for a 7. Me on Yearwood, a 7.
7. Tom?
He's not played enough for me. He's got a great set of teeth. But look, I'll give Drew.
You've got to give him half a point for his teeth, then, Tom. You've got to.
Well, do you know what? So did Bez. I will. I'll give him a 6.
6. Rotherham Gaming's gone with a 6. Scott Kent's gone with a 6.5. I'll go with a 6 as well. So 6 as well. So now quickly, we've got to rush through these because obviously we've got to quickly talk about Blackpool as well after this. So I'm going to go through quickly the players that are out of contract. So do we release them or do we keep them? So let's start with it. So the first player I've got here, Liam Kelly. Straight, do you keep or get rid?
Get rid for me.
Tom?
Get rid.
Yeah, for me, he's on big money. His legs have gone. I would also get rid of Liam Kelly. Scott Kent agrees. He would also release. The next player we've got is Sean Raggett. Keep or release?
Release, I'm afraid, now.
See you later, Rags.
Yeah, for me, the guy looks like he's running in treacle. Scott Kent, fuck him off. Rotherham Gaming. Scott Kent says release. Bye. Yeah, I think everybody's in agreement. So we're all singing from the same hymn sheet so far. I don't think there's been any contentious issues. Next one is Rafferty. Keep or release?
I'd offer him a 1 year deal.
1 year?
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah,
Tom?
just because he's getting old, isn't he? So yeah, just a 1.
Tom?
Club captain, keep.
Yeah, for me, I've also put keep, new contract. So yeah.
Man U scored as well this year. Man U have just scored.
Guillermo, get in. Rotherham Gaming says keep. Scott Kent says keep. So far, we've all got 100 out of 100 with the comments and us on here. We've all agreed on every single one so far. So that's good. Are we going to keep this up? This is a contentious one. So maybe we might have a little bit of debate on this one. Jordan Hugo, keep or release?
I was going to say to you, can you leave this one till last?
You want me to leave it to last?
Yeah, do that one last. Yeah, that one last. Yeah.
Hang on. Okay, we'll come back to that one. So next one, Joe Powell.
Yeah, keep.
Keep. Yeah, I would keep. Definitely. I think we should have offered him a long-term deal before now. So why we've let him run down. Scott Kent said he'd give him a 2-year deal. I would actually give him a 4-year deal, but that's me.
Well, 3-year deal with an option of a 4th, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Take that all day. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
So that's Powell. Who's the next one? Oh, another one. This might be a contentious one as well. Cam Dawson, keep or release?
I'm gonna go release because I think that they're out there, and even though he has improved recently, he still does make the odd mistake. So I'm going release. I'm afraid.
Rotherham Gaming's just put a pink plug, so I'm not sure whether that means release him or keep him. I agree with this one. What Scott Kent says, keep, but bring in a number 1. I would keep him, but I would have him as backup goalkeeper. I agree with that. What about you, Tom?
Release.
So that's the first one we've disagreed on. So 2 in the chat have said no. I don't know. 1 had a pink glove. 1 said to keep him as second choice, same as what I did. And you 2 have said release him. So that's the first one we've had dispute about. Next one, I'm sure it's all release, surely. And if anybody says keep this bloke, I'm just going to turn the stream off.
5-year deal. I think he deserves a 5-year deal, doesn't he?
I hope you've been joking.
Let's see. Offer him 5 years. Let's see if we can get to 10 games played. No, obviously I'd release. Yeah,
Scott Kent, release. Rotherham Gaming, buy. Tom, surely buy. I'm sure Maltby may take him or something like that.
There's a player in there, Lee. No, I'm just joking.
Fucking hell. I'm just going to switch the stream off.
I'm going to switch it off there. Yeah.
Look, I'm going to bed. Like, he's awful.
No, he needs to go and find his level. And his level is
Maltby main.
Yeah.
Substitute bench.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Talking to Maltby main, he can take this guy with him for me as well. Jack Holmes, keep or release.
Interesting.
No, you know what, though, with him? Like, he's been awful this year, actually. But he's one of them players where sometimes you look at him and you're like, there's a player there. Like, he has done it before. I've noticed before where in EFL trophy games last season, where he, like, picked up the ball, beat 4 players and put a cross in. But he has been horrendous this season. He probably don't get in Maltby's team. So, yeah, he's definitely released for me.
Hey, he don't get in my 5-a-side team. Bye. Yeah, I agree, Rotherham Gaming. Tom?
As a squad player, keep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Tom, what's in that drink you've got there, Tom?
Yeah.
I think at some point, some day, Young Jackal come good.
Okay. If you said so. Next player out of contract, Josh Benson.
Yeah,
Keep.
keep.
Keep. Yeah.
I'm hoping Scott Kent didn't say release Josh Benson. I'm not sure if that was for the other guy. Rotherham Gaming also says keep. Yeah, I think I keep Josh Benson. Let's
Yeah,
not
he's
make-
got longer deal needed, Scott.
Yeah, longer deal needed. Yeah, I thought Scott. Yeah, I didn't think Scott was that wrong. But stuff he's usually spot on, and he was. Yeah, I think a longer deal is needed. Next one, Josh Yearwood. Ooh.
Drew Yearwood. Yeah, I'd keep him still. I'd keep him. Me.
It depends what league we're in. Depends what league we're in.
That's what I was going to say. Scott Kent
okay.
Gaming says keep. I think if we don't go up, I'd keep him. I think
you've got to, because it's unlikely at the minute. You've got to assume that all these are a League One season. So I think we've got to assume that. Because I agree, I'd have changed a lot of other ones as well if I knew we were in Championship. So yeah, we've got to assume in League One. Yeah.
Okay. The next one we've got is Zach Jules.
Yeah, gone for me.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone for you, Zach Jules.
See you later, Zach. Do it, mate. Gone.
Rotherham Gaming. Bye.
He done it. Bye. Yeah.
no sentiment. Just bye, mate. Goodbye. You're gone. Scott Kent says release. So I think, in fairness, so far we've virtually all more or less agreed on most of them. There's just one or two that are slipping through the net. The next one, I think this is a no-brainer, but we'll say what you do. McWilliams, keep or release?
Oof. I'm keeping him. I'm keeping him.
Yeah, I'd keep him. Tom?
Yeah, 100%
says keep him.
Keep.
New 3-year contract for Scott Kent. He clearly rates him. You agree, Tom? Keep him?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And last but not least,
I'd keep me. I'd keep
James. Keep him or release him?
I'd keep him.
Tom, keep.
Yeah, JMO, definitely keep him. Yeah.
You keep him. So
Don't forget the last player, Lee, as well.
Yeah, I know that. Rotherham Gaming says bye. He's not.
What did you say on this one, Mushy?
James. This guy.
Yeah.
Keep him, but I'd have him as backup.
Right. Okay.
Scott Kent, keep. So we're going to go back to my my goat. Where is it? I mean, I don't even know why you asked me this question for this guy. For me, I can't even find him now. Where's he gone? Here we go. So Jordan Hugo.
Yeah, the reason I want to come back, it's because I love you as much as you do, Lee. You know I do, but he's going to be like 35 next season, and yeah, although I think he's done well this season, I actually think his levels have dropped from like 2 years ago. 3 years ago actually. Championship. I would keep him if he did reduce his wage a little bit. I don't think he's.
Don't get me started with that.
I know.
Don't get me started with that. Do you pay his wages?
Okay. I'll tell you what then. Let me change it then. Let me change it, right? A bit like what you said to Reece James, I would keep him as long as he's a backup, not a first team player then.
What, in League One?
Yes.
So you tell me, I'm just interested to know, okay, who Rotherham will be able to afford that's better than Jordan Hugill in League One?
I think they can do, yeah, because don't forget, Hugo's going to be 35. Well, not my job to find players. It's this recruitment job.
It's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as that.
I'm sure there's a player out there who we could get. I mean, I'd have to have a think about it. I can't figure this off the top of my head.
I want you to have a think about it and come back to me.
I'll tell you what, then. I'll have a think about it, right? And on next week's podcast, I will list you 5 players who I think will do as good a job, if not better, and are realistic to come to Rotherham then, okay?
Yeah, that's
Fine.
a deal.
Fine.
Obviously, Rotherham says keep the go. 1 year deal on lesser terms.
What does Tom say?
Yeah. I get. Does anybody actually know what Jordan Hugill's on?
No one knows for sure. Is it around 8-9K, is it?
Well, he's took a big pay drop. It was in his contract when we got relegated.
30% normally, yeah.
So for me, Man U just nearly scored again. Then for me, I think, I'm not worried about the wages. I think I'd offer him another 1 year deal.
It's 3-1 now anyway, Lee. It's 3-1 now. Mason Mount. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going down, Wolves. They're going to go down with the lowest points tally. They've got 2 points at the minute, Wolves.
Yeah.
I would keep him.
What would you keep as a first choice striker as well?
Well, it depends who I sign.
Yeah, you've just said to me that I'll struggle to find a player who's better than Hugo at this level.
You will.
Right, okay.
We'll see. We'll see next week. But yeah, no, I think we're all more or less all the Rotherham fans in the chat as well are kind of agreeing on what we've kind of agreed. So that's quite good. So what we're going to do now is quickly move on. Let me just get this back to the normal one. There we go. And let me just get rid of Jordan Hugill. I don't want to get rid of him, but you know. So we're going to discuss Wednesday's game. So I want to go through quickly what his thoughts are on the game, what we think the score's going to be. So I want to get your score predictions and the thoughts on the game. I'll start with you, Bez.
Yeah, so Blackpool at home, obviously they've got a new manager who has done okay since he's come in, and he never.
I hate him as well.
I know. Well, he ain't Rotherham. Yeah. I actually said on record I actually would have liked to at Rotherham, but I'm not sure now. I thought he'd do well at Blackpool. He might do well. You know, we don't really know. They're still near the bottom of the league. Rotherham's had a 12 to 30. No, they've had a 10-day rest, give or take a couple of days. I expect Rotherham to win this game, to be honest with you. You know, a lot of I'm sure, and the team are getting a lot of praise at the minute for their run, if you like. So they really need to win in this. If we draw again, I'd say that's a negative because we can't keep drawing. You're not going to get anywhere to keep drawing. So for me, it's almost a must win. Especially if you've got to get those top 6 places. And I think we will win. I'm going to go for Rotherham 2, Blackpool 1.
2-1. Scott Kent says we're 14 games unbeaten against Blackpool. Tom, what's your thoughts on the Blackpool game, mate?
Well, they played Carlisle yesterday in the FA Cup, so they had 1 day's less rest. I'll be at the game. I believe Rotherham will win 3-0. 4-0. Sorry, 4-0.
4-0. So
up the Millers.
So if we're looking at league table, so Blackpool are in bottom 3 currently with only 16 points. We are 14th in the table with 24 points. For me, this is a crossroads game. I'm with Bez on this because if we do not win this game, I still stand by it's a poor start to the season. Because we can't be sat in 14th position in League One with the squad we've got. It just can't. It can't be right. So for me, it's a must-win game. I think we will win as well. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to set 2 for Jordan Hugo, and I'm going to say Dango is going to get back-to-back goals. So it's going to be 3-0, 2 for Hugo, 1 for Dango. There you go. Mystic Bush has predicted the score, so there you go. So yeah, I'm confident we'll win it, and I'm hoping we get back-to-back sort of wins, because obviously on Saturday, who have we got on Saturday? Plymouth away, they're shocking as well. So we should be looking for 6 points in the next 2 games. And if we don't get them,
we need to hope that their manager's still there, cleverly, because they've got a game midweek. And if they lose that, I've just got a feeling he gets sacked, and that's bad timing for us. So we need to hope that Cleverly's still there.
Well, I'm going to ask this next question to Bez, because Bez is not the biggest fan of Douglas. So we'll go into this one. So who's coming into the defence now? We've got Jules, Baptiste, Holmes, Rags all back. To be honest, you can't drop Douglas, 3-1 Millers.
I've said you can't drop Douglas. I've never said dislike you. I just keep saying that he's defensively he's good, but he's got a mistake in him now.
Well, we were saying when we first knew that Holmes were coming back, you dropped Douglas and put Holmes in.
I did. So Holmes would still get in there. So I said all along that as soon as Holmes would come back, he'd come in for Douglas. But I did change last week, and I said that, to be fair to Douglas, I think he now deserves his spot, because it's not just 1 game or 2 games he's done well. He's done well, or okay, if you like, for 3 or 4 games. So Holmes still comes in for me, because you can't go in for a free back of Douglas, Rafferty and James. So Holmes has to start. And what I would do is Holmes has to do the central one as well, because let's face it, whenever he's played on the left-hand side of the free, that's when he's struggled. Obviously, he struggled in Salford, for example. So Holmes is the centre, Douglas on one side, and I'd probably keep Rafferty on the other side. And that's what I'd go with.
Tom, you agree with Bez? Would you?
No, I totally get it, Lee. I totally get it. I think we need to be on the front foot against Blackpool. I wouldn't worry about our defence. Let's go and
I would keep the same defence.
What? So you'd keep Douglas, Rafferty, and James in the 3 centre halves?
Yeah.
Wow. Again, to me, I think you're waiting for it to play badly and then change it.
No, I'm not, because we actually played badly and changed it back to what worked. So at Salford, we changed it by bringing his 2 main centre-halves. So Raggett and Holmes are the highest paid 2 centre-backs we've got, okay? He actually changed it at Salford, and we was absolutely diabolical, and he changed it back. He left Douglas on, and then he brought the 2 back that have been playing regular, and we didn't look like conceding the second half.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
If it ain't broke, you don't fix it. That pairing has been getting clean sheets, draws away at Reading, draws away at Luton. It deserves. I don't think you can drop that back free.
That's a fair point, yeah. As I said,
that's why I would keep it. I get what you're saying, but you're saying there's a mistake in Douglas, but there's a mistake in Holmes. There's definitely a fucking mistake in Raggett. That guy's running in treacle, mate.
Yeah, I'd never pick Raggett now. I would never pick Raggett now.
Raggett finished. Let's be honest. He looks like he's towing a caravan of gypsies behind him from Doncaster.
Raggett for me now is he's almost like 6th choice centre half. So I think we can both agree on that. It's just I still like, I still feel like, and I don't want to. Everyone on this call agrees that this league is terrible, right? And one of the reasons we are keeping clean sheets or keeping it down to 1 is mainly down to the league being bad. I don't necessarily think it's down to the
I totally agree. And I think we called that out months and months ago. Scott Kent called that out as well, saying it months ago that it is a poor league, and people tried to crucify what he was saying. But now everybody's saying it because the league is really poor, and it showed how bad a start we had. And if we win in midweek, we can go like halfway up the table because the league's that bad. Because all the teams, I mean, even Hampshire admitted it. He thought that Blackpool would be near the top, Plymouth would be near the top, and we all did. I remember Plymouth beating us to that centre-half signing, and all their fans coming in our chat saying they were going to walk the league. Plymouth.
Yeah. And he's not been very good as that centre-half,
Yeah, so it hasn't worked out for them, but yeah, fantastic. So we're going to wrap that up now. Obviously, it's gone on a bit longer than we expected, but we appreciate everybody. We've got great viewing figures tonight as well, and some great chat as well. So we really do appreciate your support. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. After the video's loaded as well, if you can leave a comment, we reply to every comment as well. So if you're watching it back, not as a live, and you want to give your player ratings, put them in the chat and we'll respond to them with what we think to your player rating as well. We will be back on Wednesday night for an after-match reaction, and we may have a special where we're at the game for the after-match reaction as well. So stay peeled for that, and we may challenge some other podcasters live on air as well. So stay tuned for that because I'm ready. So thank you again for watching. It's been emotional. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the guys in the chat as well. It just shows that we're all kind of watching the same thing. I think more or less everybody kind of agreed. There were just one or two players where we had a little bit of a sort of disagreement, but everybody's points were valid on why they sort of went for that. And I could understand everybody's reasoning. You know, sometimes people say stuff and you think, where's he getting that from? Like, what is he seeing? I didn't really get any of that tonight. Everybody's points of, I can see where they're coming from where they're thinking. So it's fantastic. Hopefully, just quickly, Ben, sorry, I forgot to bring this up, and I know you did ask.
Well, no, so we could do it on next week's if you want. We could do it on next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week. So thank you again for watching. We'll be back with after-match reactions after the Huddersfield game, and then we're back with the Premier Leagues on Thursday. So thank you for watching, and up the Millers.
Yeah. Cheers, up the Millers.
Up the Millers.
Up the Millers.